Alright, so today we're going to be doing a Voxlblade starter guide. If you don't know what Voxlblade is, it's kind of like an RPG game, but there's no PvP aspect of it yet. As far as I know, there's only PvE, but I assume that they'll add player versus player combat in the future. But if you haven't played this, I would recommend playing it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty addicting. So when you first join the game, if you've never played before, you're not going to see anything in slot 1. If you have played before, then you're just going to click play on whatever slot you want. But if you have never played before, you're going to click new game, and it'll bring you to the character customization screen. So at the bottom you'll see at the bottom you'll see hair color, skin color, eyes, mouth, and race. So hair color and skin color and eyes and mouth, those don't affect your gameplay, but it's basically just customization stuff. So however you want your character to look, you can customize it like that. But what really matters is your race. So race doesn't play a major role in the game. It doesn't affect what builds you can go necessarily. It just gives you certain buffs and debuffs. For example, Arborean, they take more fire damage, but they also have more protection and they can regen in the sun. So my favorite races to go is human, dark elf, and orc. And I would say these three, in my opinion, these three are the best races you can go. Orc is a Game Pass race, but if you do buy the Game Pass, I would recommend going Orc. Dark Elf is also good. You can go any build with Dark Elf, and it gives you really good buff. You can give random debuffs to other people without going any certain build. And Human is just good in general. So if you're starting off the game, I would recommend you go Human, but you can go whatever you want. It's not gonna really affect your play style, I would say. So once you're done with this, click finish, and it's gonna bring you to this screen. You can read this if you want, but I'm just gonna skip this. So when you first spawn in, you're gonna see that you're in this little village, and if you try to leave, it's not gonna let you. So before you do anything, you have to talk to Leo over here. Go through his dialogue, and he's gonna give you a quest. So for the first quest, it'll give you a little arrow, but basically where we want to go is that tower up there. So I'm gonna make my way over there, and first off, I'll be explaining the basics, like controls. So basically, obviously WASD to move, left shift is to sprint, control is to do your shift lock, C is to roll, obviously space to jump. There's no double jumping, and there's no climbing or anything. And then Q is to use your sword skill, R is to use your rune, and N is to use your cantrip. Obviously when you first spawn in, you're not going to have a rune and you're not going to have any cantrips. That's stuff you get later on in the game. So you want to make your way up here and then come up into this tower. And also you press M to access the menu, which I'll explain that later. So you want to come up here, talk to this guy. He's going to tell you some stuff, and then he's going to give you a quest to go to the overgrown forest, which is in this direction. So we're going to make our way over here. And before you do anything in game, I would suggest doing this quest and coming over here to get this, because this is a major part of the game that you need to do over here. So basically, press M. You can access the menu, and in the menu you will find quests, inventory, shop settings, and trading. So quests is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you're going to find all the quests that you currently have. You can untrack or track your quests, which is just basically pinning them over here. And if you get lost during this, you can just follow this little arrow. It'll point you to where you need to go, which is over here, and there's the main village over there. So we're gonna come over here. Don't fight any mobs yet. You'll probably die. The menu over here, we have inventory, and inventory is where you're gonna find all of your equipment and items. So this is where you have your equipped items over here, and this is where you're gonna find any items that you have in your inventory. And basically editing cosmetics, any cosmetics that you have on is what shows on your avatar, but what you have under like actual equipment is the actual buffs that you'll get. And you can destroy, favorite, equip, pretty self-explanatory. Shop is pretty self-explanatory, basically where you just buy items for Robux. Settings, this is where you're gonna find keybinds and general settings. You can change music volume, all of this stuff. And then trading, basically you can trade with people. I think you unlock that at level 15 if I'm not mistaken, but you can't do this at level 1 or 0. You have to do a certain quest for it, but that's in the future. So that's how you would trade with people. I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything for the menu. So once you get over here, you're gonna want to come inside of this little church thing and press E over this. And this is gonna be your first actual sword shrine. So what these do, if you can see, press E on it, it brings you into this menu, and this is where you can upgrade your sword, your handles, your blades, and your sword skill. This is a really important menu. This is gonna be like a giant part of the game you'll spend inside of this. So before you do anything, I would figure out what build you're gonna go. So once you're done with that, you're gonna find this guy, and he's basically the main quest giver. You can just go through it. If you want to learn about the lore, you can click yes please, but I've already been through that dialogue, so I'm just gonna say no. And he's gonna tell you that to come and visit him in his secret hideout. Wait, hold on. Alright, I guess you do have to go through the dialogue. He's gonna tell you basically the lore of the story. So we can just go through this. So once you finish with that dialogue, he's gonna tell you to wait. Okay. I don't know. The quest is broken, I guess. Oh, never mind. There you go. So yeah, he's gonna tell you to meet him in his little hideout. And so once you're done with this, before you go to meet him, I would say we have to level up first. We have to get some levels before we go meet him. And by the way, this is something else I was going to talk about. When it turns nighttime, you can get certain events. So this is one of them. It's the, I believe it's the void moon. Yeah, the void encroaches. And basically what these events do is they'll give certain buffs. So for example, this one makes mobs higher chance of being corrupt, or it can spawn an Iron Slayer, which you could have heard right there. So this is really good for XP because corrupt mobs give more XP and higher chance of drops. But as a low level player, there's not really much this will do for you, because like even corrupted bunnies are still pretty powerful and strong. So I would suggest, if you get an event like this, just to not be bothered by it. Like, don't go looking for corrupt mobs or anything. It's not gonna do anything bad to you. It's just a certain event. There's also the blood moon, which makes mobs enraged, and there's also the harvest moon, which the harvest moon doesn't affect mobs. It gives you double XP and double money from the mobs. And as you can see right here, we have a corrupt mob, and if we try and fight it, yeah, it's way stronger than a normal bunny. And also, annoying thing about corrupt mobs, as you can see, they basically have no stun, so they're very annoying to fight. But it is possible to kill one as a fresh spawn, but as you can see, my health is very low. But as you can see, it dropped corrupt bunny pants, so that's part of what corrupt mobs do. They'll drop special enchanted gear. So as a low level, you probably won't have to worry about that too much. But so yeah, that's basically what events do. So once you're done with that quest, I would suggest to come back to this town and just farm up in the bunny fields until you're at least like level 2. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, so I meant to say that you should be level 5 before you should do anything. But basically, as you can see, I'm level 4 and I'm wrapping this up real quick. I've been farming bunnies since level 2, and that's what I would recommend doing. Once you're level 2, once you finish that quest, I would suggest to come to these bunny fields and farm them until you're level 5, because the quests, I would recommend saving the quests for higher levels, which is actually what we're going to be looking at now. So once you're level 5, I would suggest that you come over here and take this quest. He's going to tell you to kill all the bunnies. I believe you have to kill 10 of them. Yeah, so as you can see, I went to 10%. So we're going to kill 10 bunnies real quick and finish this quest. So now, as we are finishing up here, something that I forgot to mention is, if this is your first character, you don't necessarily need a direction that you're going in. You can kind of just go with the flow. Like, if you figure you like a certain type of fighting, then you can just go with that. But some people, they make characters and they like deliberately plan out their entire build, and once you play the game more, if that's something you want to do, then I would recommend planning out your build before you actually even make your character. But if you're starting off for the first time, you don't really need a direction that you're going in. So once you finish that quest, once you're level 6, I actually highly would recommend you to come back over here where we did the very first quest, and where we found the sword shrine. And as you can see over here, this is never mind about that. But so we're gonna come over here, and we can't pray on the shrine right now because if you're in combat, you can't get the shrine. Alright, so once you're out of combat, or if you were out of combat, I would suggest you to come here and upgrade this and upgrade this. So basically what this is, this is what makes up your sword, right? So you have the handle and the blade, and you can combine different handles and blades to make like whatever you want, whatever build you want. So for now, I would, once you get to here, once you upgrade the basic handle, do not do anything else until you for sure know what style you want to go. And there's more things that can be unlocked based on guilds and stuff, or quests that you do. So I would not do anything else other than upgrading the basic stuff until you have an idea of what you're going. Once you know what you're going, then you can upgrade these blades further. But Before that, I would just stick with these for now. So now that we have this, we can decide what we're gonna do. And my most common thing is to go with uh hold on. My most common thing is to go with reinforced handle and dagger blade. And once you pick whatever you want, you gotta click forge sword. And here we go. We have our new sword. And as you can see, since we picked the dagger, then it's much faster swing speed. And if you want a new art, typically, hold on. Yeah, so you see we have rapid stabs, and I believe it resets your M1 combo, which is, I would say, better than the current one that we have. So once you get a new blade and hilt, or get a new blade and handle, then we're gonna come over here. So actually, now I'm gonna be going over the map. So before that. So after you farm all the bunnies, you're probably gonna have a ton of stuff in your inventory, as you can see. So for like the lower levels, like 1 to 10 or 1 to 15, before you have like a idea of the build you're going, I would recommend you to equip these equip the bunny equipment. So this is gonna give you a speed boost, a really nice speed boost. Alright. So we're gonna make our way back up to the main village. Now, once we're at our main village, I would suggest you to do, where is it? This quest right here, and not this one. I would suggest doing the investigator quest and this one. She's gonna tell you to upgrade your armor. So basically, I want to go over this real quick. So in here, over here, whenever you see this at a village, this means crafting station. So typically with this, you will find the anvil, and this allows you to upgrade your armor for 500, and the money goes up as the level goes up. And here is a very, very important part of the game, the crafting station. This is where you can craft like a ton of stuff. As you can see, there's a ton of stuff that you can craft. And so basically what you need to do is level up your crafting level by creating things here. So the first thing that we're going to go for is this bunny ring, because this is part of a quest also. So basically, a quick rundown of the map. So here's the starter village. Over there is the mushroom village, and above it you can see is the little cloud village, if you can see it up there. And then we have over in this direction is the desert, and as we've seen over there is the overgrown forest. And then like way behind the overgrown forest, like in that direction, is the Vinelands. And then over here we have the flora forest. And then the desert's like over there, and it wraps around like back here. And then we have a little connector in this forest, and it'll lead you up, and then there's the tundra. But for now, we're just going to... Is this the house? Nope. It's this house over here. So, village right there. We're gonna come over here to this house. Okay, so we're gonna talk to this guy, get his quest. He's gonna ask us to collect bunny ring parts. So for this, what we're gonna do is kill a bunch of bunnies until we get a rabbit's foot, which we've already seen bunnies around and we've been killing them. So there's a chance you might already have a rabbit's foot, but if you don't, they're considered like a more rare item. So it might be a little hard getting one, but the hardest part will be getting a golden ring. So the mob that drops a golden ring is magelings, and magelings are super annoying to fight, especially if you're low level. But I'm gonna teach you to fight magelings real quick. So let me find one. Okay, so finally I've found one, and as you can see, it has two types of moves, and when it has aggro on you, it will constantly back up, which is the most annoying part of fighting it. So basically, as you can see, its first move, it'll charge up this little beam and shoot at you like that. You can just block it. And its second move is it will do this, and when you see it charging up like this, you want to M2 it and it'll break the little charge up. Sometimes if the game is laggy, you will probably not be able to get a hit in, but oh, we got it first try. So yeah, but the magelings are the ones that drop the golden rings, and then I'm gonna go get a rabbit's foot from a bunny, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I finally got a rabbit's foot, and now we are going to go back to the quest giver and talk to him with our rabbit's foot and golden ring. Okay, so we talked to him. He's gonna tell you to make a bunny ring and give it to the bunny guy. So we're gonna come back to the starter village and craft the bunny ring, craft our first item. And if I remember right, this gets you to like level 4 or 5 crafting, so that's a plus. So crafting is pretty self-explanatory. If you have the items, just come over here, click craft, and yeah, we got to crafting level 3 with that. So now to finish off this quest, we're gonna come over here. And we're gonna talk to this guy, and he's gonna ask for the ring, and he's gonna say something like the ring isn't whatever, so he doesn't want it. And basically that means you get to keep the ring. So I would suggest you equip this unless you somehow have a better ring that you want to equip, but It's gonna give you a speed boost, luck boost, and jump boost. So now we are almost level 10, and we have a pretty good build already. So I think that's gonna be it for this starter guide. If you guys have any questions, leave them below, and I might make more in-depth guides in the future, like how to get every guild, or location guide, or like Easter egg guide. Not these Easter eggs, but like hidden location guide. So if you guys want any of that, just comment down below, and I hope this guide was useful for any of you who needed it. The game is really just an open world game, so if you explore, you'll find new stuff, and you'll figure out how to do stuff the more that you explore. There's a ton of secrets in the game, so mostly you just have to progress. The one thing that I will say is be conservative with your skill points, and don't use them unless you actually know for sure that what you're using them for is what you're gonna go. Like, for example, don't upgrade the greatsword handle if you're not gonna go greatsword. So yeah, because you can't get them back, so as far as I know. So hope this guide was useful, and if you guys have any questions, comment them down below.